Hey everybody, it's Nathaniel Avila, and I am joined with who am I joined with?
Hi, it's Hanyu.
Hello. How are you doing today?
Doing good, doing good.
Okay, great. So what are we talking about today?
We're talking about John Titor.
Yep. So what do you know about this guy?
I, to be honest, I guess since I don't really know a lot about this one's a little bit new to me. Um, so time travel, which is interesting in and of itself, that he's done, that he came and said, "This is who I am," and that he's from 2036, which we're kind of getting close to be honest. So that's, but I mean, time travel and giving his name makes it, interesting enough. I'm wondering if it is a hoax or not.
Yeah. Uh Regardless of whether or not people think that this is a hoax, this sequence of events did actually happen, and it was one of like the uh earliest mysteries of the internet age that actually like take place on the internet. So let's talk about it. So John Titor was a pseudonym used in several bulletin boards during 2000 and 2001 by a poster claiming to be an American military time traveler from 2036. So let's get into this. So the first post using John Titor's military symbol appeared in Time Travel Institute forums on November 2nd, 2000 under the name Time Travel underscore zero. Uh,
Hmm.
at that time, the name John Titor was not being used. I heard you make it like a noise. Did something come to your mind?
No, it was just interesting that it just appeared on bulletin boards out of the blue.
Oh yeah. Also, if you want to see what the insignia looks like, it looks like this. Ta-da! Pretty cool. Anyway, uh, so the posts discussed time travel in general. The first one being the 6 parts description of what a time machine should need to have to work, and the responses to questions about how such a machine would work. Now, early messages tended to be short, and a second thread was made due to the shortcomings in the forum software at the time. The name John Titor was not introduced until January 2001, when Time Travel underscore zero began posting on the Art Bell BBS forums, which required a name or a pseudonym for every account. And if you don't know who Art Bell is, he's like a well known American broadcaster and who was the host of the paranormal themed radio program Coast to Coast AM. So the Teeter posts ended in late March 2001, and around 2003, various websites reproduced Teeter's posts, rearranging them into narratives. Not all refer to the original dates posted. So in his online postings, Teeter claimed to be an American soldier from 2036 based in Tampa. He was assigned to the governmental time travel project and sent back to 1975 to retrieve an IBM 5100 computer, which he said needed to debug various legacy computer programs in 2036. And this is a possible reference to the Unix year 2038 program or problem, which is similar to the Y2K thing. So the IBM 5100 runs the APL and basic programming languages. And Teeter said that he had been selected for this mission specifically given that his paternal grandfather was directly involved in the assembly and programming of the 5100.
Hmm.
In support of this, he described unpublicized features of the 5100, leading to assumptions that a computer scientist was behind the postings. So Teeter claimed to be on a stopover in the year 2000s for personal reasons.
Of course.
Hmm. to collect pictures lost in the future Civil War and to visit his family by whom he spoke often. So, yeah. So the funny thing about this is that the unpublicized features of the 5100s that they're referring to was actually, I believe, a translator, and it was actually later revealed later on that that actually did exist. That was a thing. So there's that happened. Um, and also, I'm thinking you're probably thinking also, did he just say Civil War?
Yeah.
So what does that mean?
Now, is he talking about our Civil War?
Yeah, like an American,
Or
like a new,
in the
like a new American Civil War, not the one that took place in like the 1860s.
Hmm.
So let's talk
I
about
mean,
that real quick. So Titor also said that he had been for a few months trying to alert anyone who would listen about the threat of the Creutzfeldt-Jakob disease spread through beef products and about the possibility of a civil war within the United States. When questioned about them by an online subscriber, Titor also expressed an interest in mysteries such as UFOs, which he claimed remained unexplained in his time. So Teeter suggested that UFOs and extraterrestrials might be travelers from much further into the future than his own time with superior time machines, which is a theory that I have heard before.
interesting enough that we're doing it now because of the whole UFO sighting that happened a couple of days ago.
Well, there was another one. What happened?
Well, which one did you hear about? Because the one I heard is like the government's finally going to tell us the truth about UFOs and wait and listen at certain time frames, or the one that was cited that they have pictures of that just recently happened.
Recently happened. I thought they did that like a while ago, like 3 years ago.
No, this one actually was posted on TV about it for like government was going to say like last week, but then nothing's came of it yet.
Well, better have our ears open and eyes peeled. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean,
Oh,
it'd
sorry.
be interesting if the UFOs are coming at this moment. That means like if he's telling the truth and UFOs are different beings that came from the future, it's the starting point to the catalyst of possibly a civil war in our future.
Civil War, but isn't
It's
Civil War
present.
just us? Well, let's continue. So Teeter described his time machines on several occasions. In an early post, he described it as a stationary mass temporal displacement unit powered by two top spin dual positive signatures or singularities, producing a standard offset Tipler sinusoid. So the earliest post was more explicit, saying it contained the following: one, two magnetic housing units for a dual micro singularities, an electron injection manifold fold to alter mass and gravity of the micro singularities, a cooling and X-ray venting system, gravity sensors or variable gravity lock, four main cesium locks, and three main computer units. So, according to the post, the device that was installed in the rear of a 1966 Corvette convertible, and later mentioned a 1987 truck having four-wheel drive. So, that's his time machine.
Hmm.
So, let's see what happens in his supposed future. So, although invoking the many worlds interpretation of quantum mechanics, whereby events for his timeline may differ from our own, Teeter also explains assurance that the differences were minimal. As such, his descriptions have been interpreted as depictions, or yeah, predictions, and compared with historical events since 2001. The most immediate of Teeter's predictions was of an upcoming civil war in the United States, having to do with order and rights. Uh, he described it beginning in 2004 with civil unrest surrounding the presidential election of that year. I don't remember the Civil War happening in 2004. Do you?
No.
Okay. So what makes you what's your opinion of that?
Sometimes people can get time frames wrong. He didn't mean 2004. He probably meant 2024.
Okay,
Because the
I'm
way
sure.
it's going,
Yeah.
there's a possibility we might go to war.
In 2024?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's see. Let me see. Okay, this civil conflict that he characterized as having a Waco type event every month that steadily gets worse, and would be pretty much at everyone's doorstep and erupt by 2008. So, um, yeah, so that happened. So as a result of the war, the United States would split into 5 regions based on various factors and defining military objectives, or differing military objectives. The Civil War, according to Titor, would end in 2015 with a brief but intense World War III. So yeah, so this right now, as the time of recording, it was like this happened in the past. So it looks like it didn't really happen.
Oh,
So
yeah. I did fight in that war. Remember? Yeah.
you remember that there was a World War III, the Second Civil War?
Yeah. I mean, I know you don't remember,
Oh, okay.
but I mean, it was one of those secret hush hush government things that we just kind of went to war
Oh,
and
okay.
we just come back.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. And then America split into 5 regions without us knowing.
So Texas already thinks it's its own region.
Oh,
So I
yeah.
mean, it's not wrong.
Okay, I guess he was right this entire time. So, Tito refers to the exchange as N Day. Washington D.C. and Jacksonville are specifically mentioned as being hit. Okay, I call shenanigans. Why would you ever want to hit Jacksonville? What's in Jacksonville?
People.
Just people. It's not even that big of a city.
Maybe one of his relatives or someone's relatives are there.
Maybe. Let me see. After the war, Omaha became the new U.S. Omaha, out of all the cities, Omaha is gonna be the new U.S. capital.
Yeah, no. No one would ever allow Omaha, especially a place where no one wants to go. No one wants to go to Nebraska. Sorry, folks in Nebraska. Apologize. But no offense.
Yeah, I
Most
mean,
of us
but
don't want to go to
yeah, I mean, come
Nebraska.
on, Omaha. That's like way down on the list of potential new capitals. So that's where it got you, is the Omaha being made the new capital.
If you had said New York, LA, some of those places that everyone knows, and Las Vegas, I would even take in the city of sin as our new capital.
Over Omaha, yeah, I would agree with that. So let's see. Teeter was vague as to the exact motivations and causes for World War III. At one point, he characterized the hostilities as being led by border clashes and overpopulation. He also pointed to the contemporary conflict between Arabs and Israel as not a cause, but rather a milestone that precedes a hypothetical World War III. So Tito claimed that as a 13-year-old in 2011, he joined the Fighting Diamondbacks, a shotgun infantry unit in Florida, for at least 4 years. In other posts, he described himself as hiding from the war. Teeter claimed that the Everett Wheeler model of quantum physics, better known as the many worlds interpretation, was correct. According to Teeter, this caused a new time stream to form because of his time travel. This gives his predictions the ability to stand up to the scrutiny when they fail to pass, since believers can say that the events were averted by Teeter's postings. So there's that. That's how you cover your tracks.
Ah, yes. Cover my tracks by saying, hey, if these events don't happen, that means we did things right.
Yeah, exactly. That's how you do it. Uh, the New Republic called Teeter the most famous several internet forum posters who claim to be time travelers. An Italian television program called Voyager AI or something like that aired. Voyager aired the results of the investigation of John Titor by May 19th, 2008. Private investigator Mike Lynch found no registry evidence, past or present, of any individual named John Titor. However, he did identify the John Titor Foundation, a for-profit company founded on September 16th, 2008, with no office or address other than a rented post box in Kissimmee, Florida, and an IP address connected with Titor, also geolocated to Kissimmee, despite him saying that he was living in Tampa. So, what's going on here?
Life. He found a nice girl in the past to settle down with, and he never went back. And knowing that those events never happened, hopefully he invested in some good stuff for the future.
Okay, he invested in I don't know, Amazon or something. Uh, and
Or hopefully at least Tesla.
Okay, so like yeah, well I would agree with that, but John Titor actually did say that he was going back to his own timeline near the end. Like he did post one last message saying that he was leaving this timeline, and then he never posted again. So there goes that. What do you think about this John Titor Foundation?
I mean, if you're trying to find the claims and look for the person that did it, I mean, I can completely understand. But I mean, if he did exactly what he was meant to do, then he either doesn't exist or his whole timeline has been changed.
Yeah.
And he didn't have to go and be military. So all the things that you're looking for may not exist anymore.
Right. That's assuming that Teeter was his real name. He might be
True.
using a fake name.
Of course.
Mm-hmm. So let's see. A 2009 report by John Houston of the Hoax Hunter website named Larry Haber, a Florida entertainment lawyer, as the CEO of the foundation. So that's who that is. So Lynch concluded that Larry Haber and his brother Richard, a computer scientist, were very likely the men behind John Titor, whom they actually introduced in 1998, accompanied by different predictions, including chaos due to the Y2K bug. John Houston also reported that John Titor is a trademark registered with the United States Patent and Trademark Office, and the Titor trademark is now classified as abandoned. So, I don't know. They're saying that they tried to trademark the name.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you just backtrack so much just to say that you did this way back in 2018? I'm sorry, 1998.
All the way back to 3 years ago. Yeah. So
yeah, that seems a little interesting and fishy. Unless, I mean, time travel is its own weird thing, but if by chance they are relatives to who it should have been, and they have residue from the life they should have been, trademarking that name, saying that you can't use this name to overdo what he initially pushed later on.
Mm-hmm.
Time stuff is one of those. It makes my brain hurt.
So let's see, like what happened in 2018. So a multimedia artist named Joseph Matheny, who is creator of an alternate reality game known as Ong's Hat, said that he worked as a consultant for an unnamed individuals responsible for the legend. And John Titor is, and I quote, is a story that was created as a literary experiment by people who were observing what I was doing with Ong's hat, and these people wanted to do something like that. And I was consulted for the project, but it wasn't my project. End quote. So there goes that. So this guy, this Matheny guy, said that he worked on the construction of this whole thing.
I mean, doing a alternate reality game owns hat
Yeah.
to say that they were wanting to use that name as an evidence of doing their own thing.
Pretty much,
It's
yeah.
kind of interesting in and of itself. And then we have the other guys who have trademarked it so that no one can use it, but it's abandoned. And I think technically anything trademarked classified as abandoned can now be used anywhere.
Oh yeah.
Just saying, law stuff on that kind of helps abandon things. That means people can use the name, because that was done in 1998, 2009, and this happened in 2018, which means they can use that or say they use that name, and it's no longer a trademark because it's been abandoned, and it's already been almost 10 years since 11 years. No, 9.
Yeah.
Math hard.
Yeah. So, final verdict. Do you think John Titor is real?
I don't necessarily think John Titor is real. First, we don't know if that's his real name or not. But the thing I do kind of believe is the timey-wimey stuff.
Like, yeah.
Time travel
From Doctor Who, yeah.
New timelines and many world interpretations is probably a thing that probably happens. It goes back to Futurama and flipping a coin, and your world gets split in 2 different directions.
Mm-hmm.
And then other decisions, diverge from there.
Yeah. I'm on the I'm on the team that I think that this was a hoax. Because we have this Huh?
So you're on the hoax team that this didn't exist.
Yeah, because this Matheny guy said he did it, and this whole John Titor Foundation to get profit seems to be a little sketch, and the fact that somebody even attempted to trademark the name also kind of makes it into that, and also the fact that none of his predictions came through. So, it kind of makes me think that this isn't real.
Okay, that's fair enough. I can, like I said, I don't believe the person specifically who nicknamed themselves John Titor is real, but I believe time travel is real if done properly or not properly.
So you think that time travel is achievable?
Yeah.
Okay, I can get behind that. Yeah, as long as if it makes more sense that if we go into like the more multiverse side of it, where we can just go into a universe where everything's exactly the same except I have one less hair on my head or something. And
one less hair or possibly different president. Oh yeah, like there's so many shows where places are different. It's like by just a small margin.
Mm-hmm.
I think one that I saw, I think this was a comic book one, is like, so who's president here? Keanu Reeves. We are staying here.
Oh, that's a hilarious. That's hilarious. You think he'll be a good president?
I mean, to be honest, after our last president, I feel like we had already hit rock bottom. We can only go up from here.
Okay. So let's see how John Titor affected the media and pop culture. So in 2004, John Titor Foundation published a book called John Titor, A Time Traveler's Tale, discussing his claims, and the book is now, it's not out of print, so you can't find it anywhere. So there goes that. In 2004, again, the same year.
Someone can find it.
Huh? Oh yeah, I'm sure you can find it on eBay or somewhere. So in 2004, Time Traveler Zero, which is a play based on the John Titor story, was staged here in America. And a 2009 visual novel known as Steins Gate, which was adapted into an anime in 2011, heavily features the time travel and has John Titor as a major part of the plot. So in the story, oh sorry, Ben, Titor is revealed to be the online alias of the character Suzuha Amane, because of course it's a Japanese person. It's an anime. Mm-hmm. What do you expect? So, who traveled back into the past to prevent an arms race involving the organization CERN. So, in the shonen supernatural horror manga Magical Girl Apocalypse, John Titor was referenced. And in an issue of The Unbeatable Squirrel Girl, John Titor is listed in the Deadpool's Guide to Supervillains card set as an alias of the villain Kang the Conqueror. So, there's that. And that kind of ends the story of John Titor. So, yeah.
To be honest, to be fair, as someone who does like anime, Steins Gate is actually pretty decent.
Which one? You watched Steins Gate?
Yes.
Oh, snap. So you did hear about the John Titor thing through Steins Gate?
Yeah, but I didn't think the connection, because obviously I guess I would be biased that I probably liked their version of it, because it had more action, more intel, more go juice than, hey, I'm just doing some billboards and using the internet and getting people interested, and I'm going to change the time, and then things happen. Yeah, so no longer exists. But then all these other things, say that I did exist for their pure purpose.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah. So that's pretty much the story of John Titor. Do you have any other like final thoughts on this entire story?
Make sure you have a better alias name, child.
You don't want to go. You think John Titor is not good?
It's almost like going into the John Doe, except for instead of using Doe, you're Titor. It's like they change it. We have too many John Does. We need a new alias name where people can know that they're not someone.
Okay.
Hey, you flew John Titor instead of John Doe.
Okay. What would your time traveler alias be?
Natasha Williams.
Natasha Williams? Why that one?
I have a thing for Morticia, but I don't want to say Morticia.
Okay.
So with the Natasha, kind of still be that bad. Sorry, I'm trying not to curse per se. Be almost like a Black Widow, but slightly different.
Okay. Yeah, isn't Black Widow's name Natasha Romanoff?
Mm-hmm.
Something like that? Okay. So, yeah, that's John Titor for you. We both kind of agree that John Titor himself is probably not real, but the idea of time travel is probably possible. Probable, at the very least. So, yep, that's it for this episode. I've been Nathaniel Avila.
And I'm Hanyu.
Yeah, and this is the dog if she gets up. There she is. Hello. Down you go. All right, bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to a Vision podcast, home of wacky talkies, The Kingdom, Evil Exists, and many more.